Good morning to you, Mr. Mayor, or Mr. Mayor-elect. It's great to see you. It's great to see you again. Let's talk about the message that you're trying to send to business. As you very well know, the previous mayor had a contentious relationship, and maybe I'm putting it politely, with the business community. You've been meeting with lots of business leaders over the past several weeks and months now. What are you trying to tell them?
Well, reset. Let's hit reset. We understand that we did not have a good relationship. When I sit down with CEOs and they state that they have not met with the mayor here in a city that we call ourselves the Empire State, how don't we engage with those who have the empires here? And when we hit that reset, the resources, the expertise, all of that information can be used to help people move out of institutional poverty. And I think it's an important relationship.
Big question among investors and a lot of folks who are watching this program this morning are taxes in New York City, and also the potential repeal of SALT, those SALT taxes. There's a big divide in the Democratic Party over these issues. Where do you stand on them?
We must repeal SALT, and it's a real issue to repeal SALT. People talk about the stimulus package, which is extremely important, the infrastructure bill. But the reality is that SALT is taking away billions of dollars from our income here and resources here in the city. I stand on the side that if we don't repeal SALT, it's going to further hurt our economic recovery.
What do you say to maybe more progressive Democrats who say, look, you're effectively giving a tax cut to the richest?
Well, I say this all the time. Being practical is progressive. I am a progressive. You look at my policies, I'm 100 plus steps forward for New York. You'll see how progressive my ideas are. But the reality is that SALT hurts New Yorkers. SALT hurt me as a taxpayer. And I'm not the 1%er. I'm a blue collar mayor-elect. And I think that we have to look at repealing SALT to help those everyday New Yorkers that are impacted by this.
One of the big issues that all New Yorkers are now confronting is some of the issues around COVID vaccine mandates and the police, firefighters, and others. Wondering how you're going to work with them, whether you think that the mandate should be in place, whether you think extensions should be granted. Where do you stand?
Well, I stated this on the campaign trail that, I don't want to, Monday morning quarterback the mayor. He has the obligation to address this issue. What I believe he has failed to do appropriately is to sit down with the unions, the leadership. I use the term credible messenger all the time when I was campaigning. The leadership, they are the credible messengers for their rank and file. And if this is something that I'm going to inherit in January, I'm going to sit down with them. We will come to a resolution. I reached out to some of the union leadership yesterday, and I'm clear that we will come to a resolution, and I'm hoping the mayor do so before January so that we don't deal with a public safety crisis that can come out of this.
Mr. Mayor-elect, a lot of folks this morning are trying to read the tea leaves, trying to divine what your win means on one end, what maybe Glenn Youngkin's win means, what the close race in New Jersey represents. Do you have a takeaway about all of it?
I sat down the other day with a group of mayors in a program, and I'm hearing the same thing. We must understand that being progressive means being practical. I use the example all the time. Here in New York, we're talking about closing Rikers Island, the building. How about closing the pipeline that feeds Rikers Island? 55% of the inmates have learning disabilities. 80% don't have a high school diploma or equivalency diploma. Yet we are spending over $30 billion a year in the Department of Education. And if you don't educate, you will incarcerate. So the question becomes, if we want to be progressive in our policies, we must be practical and help people on the ground, clean our streets, pick up our garbage, educate our children, and have a safe city that we can build on.